The cannon is the air-powered compound applicator. Let's assemble the cannon. First, you need to lubricate the piston at least every day. You can use most dishwashing soaps or no-pock lubricant you can purchase from us. Amply apply lubricant to the felt wiper strip on the piston. Then seat the first seal into the cannon. Drop some water on the felt strip, then seat the second seal and push the piston down the tube. A good test to see if you've done this correctly is to physically blow the piston down the tube. If you can, the next step is to wet the O-rings on the mud and air ends and slide both onto the green cannon and latch on the end clamps. On your air end, you have an air lever that when squeezed sends air into the cannon, pushing the piston down the tube and thus the compound. You adjust the air on the cannon by snapping out the yellow knob on the air regulator and turning the yellow knob clockwise to increase pressure. The cannon's pressure registers on the air gauge. Once you have set the desired air pressure, snap back in the yellow knob. On the other end of the cannon is the mud end. You have an on-off yellow lever for filling and running the cannon. You have a black flow valve to adjust your material flow. You have a filler nozzle that attaches to a pump and fills the cannon. And you have a hose fitting that all tools attach to. You attach the coaters, gooseneck and angle head, mud-on heads. You can do this procedure with the air hose attached. There is a standard 50-foot cannon hose that quickly connects to the swivel on the cannon. You will attach the other end of the hose direct to your compressor or to one of the pumps you purchased. Setting up the Junior Apla and T-Series pumps. First, you will need a compressor. For finishing, a 3/4 horsepower compressor or larger set at 120 psi is sufficient to operate a pump and at least 2 cannons. For spraying textures, a 5 horsepower with a 30-gallon tank set at 110 psi gives you enough air to spray high-quality textures. The Junior pump draws compound up from your pre-mixed 5-gallon bucket. Attach the compressor hose on the back of the pump. There's a yellow knob on the air regulator that you will need to pull out and turn clockwise to increase the pressure on the pump. Turn it until you get about 95 psi on the gauge. Attach the mechanical filler to fill the mechanical taper or the cannon filler to fill the cannon. Make sure you prime the pump before each daily use. Pulling back the air lever will initiate the pumping action of the Junior pump. Note, it is important that after you drop the Junior pump into the mixed compound, engage the air lever and bleed the air out of the pump and filler tubes before filling any tools. The Junior pump is ready to use. The Apla and T-Series pumps are gravity-fed pumps. To set up the pumps, first attach the top of the J-pipe to the top of the reservoir tank and cam lock the bottom of the J-pipe to the fitting at the bottom of the pump. With both yellow levers on the J-pipe and back of the pump in the off position, attach the compressor hose from your compressor to the back of the pump. For finishing, pull out the yellow knob and turn it clockwise until 95 psi registers on the gauge. To mix mud in the reservoir, first add water until there is water at the bottom of the tank. Then add the joint compound. Drop in your paddle, add the correct amount of water, and mix to the desired thickness. With a U-pipe pointed at an empty bucket, turn the yellow lever on the J-pipe to the on position to bleed the water out of the pump. When you see compound, turn the yellow lever off, point the U-pipe back at the tank, turn on the yellow lever, rotate the mud, and whip up the mud to the desired thickness. Filling the cannon. On the junior pump, place a piece of mesh tape here to screen mud. Attach the junior cannon filler tube. Engage air lever. Bleed air through the cannon tube. Wet the outside of the fill valve on the cannon. Then place cannon onto the filler to fill. With the yellow on-off lever open, engage the air lever and send the piston to the mud end of the green tube. Close the cannon on-off lever halfway. Open the yellow on-off pump lever for 1 second to bleed the air that is up against the piston. Close off the cannon yellow lever and then completely fill the cannon. Inability to initially bleed air can cause popping of the cannon. On the Apla pump and T-series pump, first take off the U-pipe. Take a 5-inch long piece of mesh tape, fold it over, and place it on top of the J-pipe. Now camlock in the cannon filler in place. This screens any specks in the finishing mud. Wet the outside of fill valve on the cannon. Place the cannon on the cradle and in position to fill. To fill the cannon, follow the junior pump instructions.